Hello, friends. Welcome to This Day That Year. Today is March 1st, and in this live stream, we will analyze some of the important historic incident that happened today on March 1st. And by the way, we are live, so you can also send in your comments and any observation that you might have. All right, let's go to the first object. First information is regarding a very popular city called Rio de Janeiro, and Rio de Janeiro is very picturesque. In fact, I have been there. It's a amazing tourist destination. Nearly 1 million tourists come into Rio de Janeiro every year, and they basically enjoy the beauty, natural beauty, and the beach of Rio. But did you know that this city was established today on March 1st in the year 1565? And this used to be the capital of Brazil until the capital was shifted to another city, and Rio de Janeiro has become a tourist destination. It's not having any government offices there, but it is a very prominent place. And if you have not visited Rio de Janeiro, you must make a bucket list and try and book your flight to Rio, especially now the pandemic is over almost. So what is the next item on our list today? The next item is related to slavery, and we know that the most of the slave trade was destined into Americas. So the slaves were rounded up from different countries, from Africa mostly, from Ghana, Nigeria, those kind of places, and these slaves were taken to America to work in the field, and there were no wages given in the field, in the cotton fields of Americas, especially in the south side of United States, current day United States, and there has been a lot of hue and cry about it, especially in the north, and people didn't like humans being treated as slaves in the modern times, as way back as just 200 years back. So there were a lot of voices raised by citizens who felt very strongly against the slavery. So finally, in the United States, the Pennsylvania became the first state to abolish slavery today on March 1st in the year 1780. However, the battle was not won completely, because this change in the legislation was applicable only to the newborn. So the parents were not freed from slavery, but in Pennsylvania, if a newborn baby is born out of the slave population, they will not be called slaves. So a welcome change happened on 1st of March in 1780. Let's move to the next one. Well, next is related to the environment and conservation of our wildlife and nature. So Yellowstone is a very prominent, national park today, one of the largest in the world, and it is also sitting on a very active volcano plume, which is coming from the core of the earth. So it has a very unique flora and fauna, very different kind of landscape. So people didn't realize that we need to protect all kinds of natural phenomena, and therefore Yellowstone was such a picturesque site in the northwest of United States that it was recognized and declared as a national park. In fact, it became the first recognized national park globally on 1st of March 1872. Remember, friends, that was a date when the first national park anywhere in the world was declared, starting with Yellowstone on 1st of March in the year 1872. Let's move to the next one. Well, this is about the Sherlock Holmes. So we know that Sherlock Holmes is the world's best detective, fictional character created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. But did you know that the first novel, or the first short story of Sherlock Holmes was published today in 1890, March 1st, today? and this was published, and subsequently there were several other short stories and 4 novels which were published by Arthur Conan Doyle. So important date for all the Sherlock Holmes fans. Today was the day on March 1st, 1890, where all the investigation started. All right, let's move to the next one. Now this is about Ethiopia. I am not sure what is the opinion you have about Ethiopia. Probably you must be thinking Ethiopia is a poor country where people die of hunger. But if you have not been to Ethiopia yourself, you will not know, you will never know. You know, Ethiopia is a very rich country, and why it is not on the world map, simply because Ethiopians don't speak English. Why they don't speak English? Because they were never colonized. The British actually colonized most of Africa, and they tried very hard to colonize Ethiopia as well. But they were defeated by the Ethiopian strong army. So after the British stopped trying, Italian tried, and they were the last colonial power to try conquer Ethiopia. And in 1890, which was the battle, in a very bloody battle that Ethiopians fought with the Italian colonizing force, they defeated them, and kind of destroyed the Italian army completely, killing 2 generals and also capturing one of the general in 1896 on 1st of March. So this is an important incident because this was the last attempt by any colonizing power to colonize Ethiopia. Ethiopia remained an independent country, and till date, no one has been able to colonize or conquer Ethiopia. So that is the history. And by the way, Ethiopia is also one country which gave coffee to the world. And Ethiopian coffee is very, very popular, very famous, and in fact it's premium. So important thing is that the last attempt of the colonizing power to colonize Ethiopia, to defeat Ethiopia, was repelled by Ethiopia successfully on 1st of March 1896. Let's move to the next one. Now this is about recognizing the women power. You know, we sometimes feel that women are very good in the household activity, but they are also very efficient at the workplace. So women can be very, very effective, and they can actually sometimes can be, in fact many times they can be better than men folks. So this is an important information that for the first time in New York State Police, Isabella Godwin was appointed as the first detective in the year 1912 on 1st of March. So this is something very interesting, that the detective is a very senior position. If you know the US Police Department, detective is pretty senior position. So appointment of a woman in 1912, 1st of March, is very prominent, very important information. The name of the person is Isabella Godwin. She was the first woman detective in the United States, appointed as detective on 1st of March 1912. Let's move to the next one. Well, we know Bank of America. We know that Bank of America is one of the large banks and headquartered in America. But the reality is that the Bank of America was not Bank of America. It was actually a bank, a private bank, started by the Italian immigrants, and they were actually so most of the Italian folks, they were keeping their money in this bank, and because they came from Italy, the name of the bank was Bank of Italy, but it was based in America. So finally on 1st of March 1927, this bank was nationalized and then renamed later as Bank of America. So this is a little bit of history, little trivia. So the Bank of America was not always Bank of America. It was not the Americans who started it. It was the Italian immigrants who started this bank, but later nationalized and renamed on 1st of March 1927 as Bank of America. Let's move to the next one. Now, I am not sure whether you know how important is the Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam took many years, several years to construct, and this was constructed by United States, and at that time, United States, and in fact there was a big depression globally. All economies after the First World War went into recession, and economies were not doing good in any country. In fact, if you remember Charlie Chaplin, the comedian, he was actually giving out those comics movies at that time, and he was showing the so much poverty in his yet comical movies. But that was an era when there was a big depression. So in order to bring out America out of the big depression, the government started two capital projects. One was Panama Canal, and other was the Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam has gave employment to so many Americans, and since a lot of people were jobless, they rushed to Nevada to basically help in construction of the Hoover Dam. And it's basically Hoover Dam is made of concrete, and there is so much concrete poured into this particular large dam that you can actually cover the entire earth with 1 meter thick concrete slab. So you can imagine the amount of concrete which is used in constructing this huge dam. So when you look at this picture, it doesn't look much, but it's really very big. You can just make out that how big is this dam just by comparing the size of the car which are parked on the road on this particular dam. So some people say that the Hoover Dam will take nearly 500 years to completely dry. So it is still drying. However, on 1st of March 1936, the dam was completely completed. And initially it was known as the Boulder Dam because, of course, it is a big boulder made of concrete. However, on 1st of March, it was renamed as Hoover Dam in the year 1936. So these are some of the important historic event that happened today on 1st of March. I hope you liked the trivia which is offered today. And, if you have any suggestions, comments, kindly feel free to send in your comments. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you again tomorrow with more this day, that year. Until then, please take care. Bye bye for today.